billionaire house tier list.
From a $2 billion mega mansion to a $50,000 tiny...
See, here's the thing, though. If you own a house like this looks like a government building. This looks like where the Queen of England would live, or the White House. This is 45 bedrooms, 50 bathrooms. I say this every time. Every single time we see a big house. Who the is living in this home? And whenever you see somebody rich that lives here, it's not like 21 kids and counting type. If you were like a family with 30 children, yeah, buy a house like this. It's always like, oh, Matthew McConaughey and his new girlfriend just bought this house. They also plan on never having kids, and they never have anyone over. Okay, then what do you do all day? Do you drive a go-kart in your house?
$50,000 tiny home. This is the billionaire house tier list. Vladimir Putin has a net worth of $200 billion, and he's got a palace with an underground bunker. S tier. Mark Zuckerberg bought 1,000 football fields of land in Hawaii so he could build a massive compound with a
Dude, that scares me. When they do that, when billionaires build bunkers that are this, capable of stopping, nuclear blasts and like they know something we don't.
Sustainable underground bunker, over a dozen houses including 2 mansions and a web of disc-shaped tree houses connected by rope bridges. Solid B tier. In 1984, Steve Jobs bought a California mansion called the Jackling House. It was designed in 1925 by famous architect George Washington Smith for famous rich guy Daniel Jackling. Steve Jobs wanted to burn it down.
Yo, Steve Jobs kind of looking like a hunk, dude. No lie. That's Steve? That's Steve? I don't remember Steve like that. I remember, make me sweat a little bit here, Steve.
Jobs wanted to burn it down. California said no, because of its historical significance. Steve Jobs really wanted to burn it down. He went on record calling the house a dump. He said Jackling had no taste and that George Washington Smith was a nobody. He then abandoned the house and let it rot for 10 years. The house became such a mess that he was finally given permission to destroy it. 8 months later, he died, making the brutal destruction of his innocent house one of Steve Jobs' final victories. I don't get why he hated on this house so much. I'd say it's a strong C tier. World famous pharmaceutical salesman El Chapo at a peak.
Would he have lived if he didn't do like the pseudoscience route when he had cancer? I don't know if there's like a definitive thing on that, but I know that he got diagnosed and then he started doing like alternative medicine. And I have such a hatred for alternative medicine because alternative medicine, do it. Right? If you think it works, whatever. But don't do alternative medicine and not do proven, scientifically researched methods of medication when you're going through something as serious as cancer.
Net worth of $12 billion. He was said to have houses at every single beach and a ranch in every single state. He also had the government looking for him at every single state. So rather than living in his luxurious...
Dude, did you guys see what El Chapo... I mean, El Chapo had some crazy mansions, but now he's in, like, a high max security prison in, like, the middle of the fucking United States for the rest of his life. He never gets to see his family, and he has to be inside 23 hours a day in one cell alone. He's in a supermax prison in the middle of nowhere in Colorado. He sits in a cell all fucking day alone.
Just mansions. He was forced to stay in discreet safe houses to avoid the law.
I'll lose my mind? No, I think we watched a video about what he has to do every day. Anybody would lose their mind in that state.
Homes had hidden escape routes, connecting Chapo to a network of underground tunnels that allowed him to escape capture and keep his drug empire running. This man was a Harriet Tubman of crack. Solid F tier. Donald Trump's official residence.
I thought you were rating their houses, not them.
Is a 17-acre Florida resort called Mar-a-Lago. After buying it in 1985, Donald made a few changes. In his yard, he put an 80-foot tall American flag.
Oh, no.
In his bathroom, he added a few classified documents from the White House. But the biggest change he made was turning
the Mario soundtrack in the back. He had a few documents from the White House he wasn't allowed to bring.
Exclusive club. For a $200,000 entry fee, you could become a Mar-a-Lago member and hang out with rich people, like Jeffrey Epstein. He was a member of Trump's club until 2007, when he got kicked out for hitting on a teenager. Classic
Really? Trump banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after he hit on a teenage girl. Jesus Christ.
Classic Jeffrey. The club's been printing over $20 million a year, making Mar-a-Lago one of Trump's most lucrative investments. It's a somewhat controversial house, but it is a nice place. Being the Queen of England has a lot of perks. You got the coolest jewelry collection of all time. You get to drive a Bentley limo without needing a license. You get to pay taxes.
What? She never got a license and she was allowed to drive?
You get to drive a Bentley limo without needing a license. You get to pay taxes when you feel like it. But the coolest part of being the queen is living in the $5 billion Buckingham Palace. This 775-room behemoth has everything you need to be the ultimate rich person. You got a throne.
I don't understand royalty. I don't diss it because I understand it's a part of like a lot of countries' cultures, but I don't understand the idea or the purpose of a king and queen when we're in 2024 and they don't really run the government, right? They're not elected. They're born into it from 700 fucking years ago when their great granddad fought and became king. And so now every person in their generation will be a celebrity off of the fact that they're just a king or queen. It's weird because they didn't do anything, you know? Like every famous, that's what's so weird about kings and queens in 2024. Way back then, it's different when it was like the fucking 1200s, right? And there was like wars over religion and church and state and all this other stuff. But today, if you're somebody that has like fame, like if you're like Post Malone or some shit like that, or even like an elected president, you did something to achieve power and fame, whereas kings and queens are just born famous and rich. And I mean, you could say that about like other rich people, but like they're literally born as royalty, but they didn't earn it.
A multi-billion-dollar art gallery, London's biggest private garden, and an ATM in your basement so you can take out a brick and flex on your 800 staff members. This place is so big, it has its own zip code. I think I'm too poor to even be looking at this house. Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, has 5 private islands. What is Larry Page doing on his 5 private islands? Nearby locals haven't noticed anything unusual except for a few helicopters. But in the 2013 conference, we may have gotten a glimpse into the answer.
Well, there's many exciting and important things you could do that you just can't do because they're illegal. But maybe we should set aside a small part of the world.
There's so many things, like fun things that we could do that are like, you know, great lucrative business opportunities, but it's kind of a pain because they're illegal. And what should we be doing in this scenario, right? Like I bought all these private islands and I'm sitting here and all I want to do is own and run a death ring.
World where we can try out some new things and figure out what is the effect on society, what's the effect on people.
So in case you can't read between the lines, Larry Page is using his islands to perform human experiments on children. S tier. In a 2010 letter to shareholders, stock market genius Warren Buffett said that his third best investment was his house. In 1958, he bought a $30,000 home in a quiet neighborhood of Omaha, Nebraska. The property is now worth over 40 times what he bought it for, which might seem like—
I don't want to say it annoys me when billionaires live frugally, but it annoys me. Like, the IKEA guy or Warren Buffett, like if you're sitting on $100 billion, use some of it, you know? Like it's like just because it's, you could say, oh, we gave the right person money, but you're telling me you have $100 billion and you live in a fucking equivalently a $30,000 house, 1.4 million today because that man's 97 years old. But regardless, dude probably drives like a Toyota.
Like an amazing financial return. However, if he had instead invested that $30K into the stock market, he would have made $3 million. The reason Buffett considers his house such a good investment is not because of numbers, but because of the memories it brought him and his family. Mukesh Ambani, the richest man in India,
he owns a whole fucking skyscraper. This is probably the coolest house. What a waste, though. It's right next to the slums. This is like fuck. Now, that's where like the gauge of, obviously I don't think anybody should be a billionaire, but this is like the fucked up range of billionaires, where there's billionaires like Warren Buffett who don't spend any money, and then Mukesh Ambani who buys a fucking $2 billion skyscraper in right next to the slums of India, where like literal like people in fucking poverty that are struggling to fucking eat and survive are like a mile away from him.
Story mega mansion in the middle of the hood. Creative visionary Kanye West said this in a 2018
interview. All time. I'm tired of the McMansions, all the Spanish roof homes and stuff like that. Like, that shit whack, bro. Like, everybody house whack. It's trash.
Kanye bought this house in 2023. It was originally a church in Los Angeles that he planned to use for his Donda Academy school, but it's since been left to rot. In 2019, Kanye started building massive dome-shaped structures inspired by Star Wars that he believed would revolutionize affordable housing. He was seconds away from solving the homelessness.
How would a dome-shaped house fucking revolutionize housing or help homeless people? I feel like a dome-shaped house is probably the biggest waste of space.
Crisis when California shut him down because they already have tents for that. Recently, Kanye bought a $57 million Malibu home, paid someone 20 grand a week to destroy it, then listed it back up for sale for $4 million less than what he bought it for. And on top of that, the guy that he paid to destroy it, turns out he never paid him. So now he's also getting sued after taking L after L after L. Kanye—
why'd he pay the guy to destroy it just to fucking sell it?
Officially announced that he would be building a 100,000 acre city in the Middle East.
100,000 acre city in the Middle East. Does he have the money to be even able to do that?
Founder of Alibaba bought a $191 million mansion on the tallest hill in Hong Kong Island. It offers a beautiful view of the world's most unaffordable city. However, Mr. Ma might not be able to appreciate this view any longer because in late 2020 at an economic conference, he made the grave mistake of criticizing the Chinese government.
Did they never find him? He disappeared from public view in 2020, resurfaced 3 years later in the middle of Thailand.
Isn't dead, by the way. He ended up reappearing in China a few months later. Hopefully Supreme Leader Xi Jinping let him keep his cool house. Michael Jordan's mansion could be yours for $14,855,000.
Dude, I'm pretty sure this house is— yeah, I was gonna say, this house has been listed for so fucking long. I remember 3 years ago when the Powerball was really big, my friend said he would buy this house if he became a billionaire. Why has no one bought this home? It's probably just too expensive and it's fucking Illinois.
For $14,855,000.
Probably why it's not selling.
It's actually been on sale for over a decade. The main reason no one's buying it is because it's in Illinois. On top of that, a lot of the home's features are too unique to Jordan. Not many buyers would want front gates with someone else's jersey number, a theater with someone else's logo, and a basketball court with the names of someone else's kids. Marking your territory is effective for keeping people from eating your pizza and also keeping people from buying your house. Not to the
I mean, yeah, but those seem like small fixes. Like, if you have enough money to buy the house, you have enough money to just fucking change that.
Average broke person like myself, having a $15 million house that's not selling might seem like an absolute disaster, but for Michael Jordan, he's probably not that worried. Solid D tier. Jeff Bezos launched Amazon.com from the garage of a house he was renting for $890 a month. He's now the 25th largest landowner in the United States. Jeff has properties all across the country. His main home was a $10 million mansion in Washington until 2023 when he moved to Florida so he could be closer to his family.
I never understand when they buy like 20 homes though. Like, I'd get if you're a billionaire buying one, maybe two big ass houses on like both sides of the United States. But what the fuck is the point in buying fucking 45 different houses in random ass areas and they never go to them?
And further from the IRS. He lives on a man-made island off the coast of Miami, where he bought a $68 million mansion. 2 months later, he spent $79 million on the one next door.
Why? Why? Are you trying to get rid of your fucking neighbors? Like, that's the only way that I would understand this. And even then, you just bought $68 million house. Okay, I'm gonna buy the one next door. For what? Privacy? Privacy? Bro, buy it. You actually think that's why? I would get if it's privacy, but it's not like he's living next to, like, middle-class people. You're living next to other rich-ass motherfuckers, right? If you're Jeff Bezos and you buy this $68 million house, whoever lives in this $79 million house probably doesn't care that you're Jeff Bezos.
It's a pretty chill place, I'd say B tier, but he's also evading taxes, so that bumps him up to A tier. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Oh, this is gonna be a $400 million mega mansion.
Dropped $300 mil on a French.
$300 million. Oh my God, is that a parking lot for the workers for the house? Imagine having a parking lot for your workers that tend to your fucking house. And it's like the size of like a parking lot for a Target.
Chateau. It has a nightclub, a moat with an underwater aquarium, and modern technology that can all be controlled with an iPhone. The building might seem like a historic landmark, but it was actually built in 2009 by Saudi businessman Ahmad Khashoggi. The wealthy developer probably won't be doing business with the Crown Prince anytime soon, because in 2018, according to the CIA, the Crown Prince assassinated his cousin. If Ahmad and the Crown Prince ever link up again, that might be an awkward conversation. It's a pretty cool house, though. Billionaires Row is a New York City...
Oh, I love watching the videos about Billionaires Row. The fucking sick-ass apartments all the way up at the top. Dude, like, imagine living... That's above the clouds.
It's a New York City neighborhood with the tallest and most expensive buildings in the world. The people that...
Also fucking terrifying. I'm pretty sure people say it shakes with the wind. Like, imagine living all the way up there in this skinny-ass building, and you feel an earthquake.
Row is a New York City neighborhood with the tallest and most expensive buildings in the world. The people that buy these apartments aren't buying apartments. They're investing in furnished capitalism.
The majority of people who are actually living here aren't actually living here. They're using these apartments for places to store value.
It's a brand. It's like a Birkin bag. Where do you live? 157. Where do you live? 111. Where do you live? 220.
In 2019, billionaire investor...
What? They don't live there? So it's just an empty ass fucking... For the most part, it's like empty ass fucking rooms. Like 80% of the fucking rooms, no one's in. So when you're talking to a billionaire, oh, I just bought a house on Billionaires Row. Oh, which one did you buy? It's like showing somebody your Jordans. It's like the same thing as saying, yeah, I just bought the Royal Blues. Wow, I just bought 110.
Ken Griffin bought 4 floors of 220 Central Park South for $238 million, making it the most expensive real estate purchase in the United States. 220 holds the most desirable view in the city, being
Dude.
of real estate purchase in the United States. 220 holds the most desirable...
Imagine waking up and looking out of your fucking window and seeing that. I would love to have that. I would love to have that. I would love to have a sick-ass apartment in Tokyo. And then I would also love to have a sick-ass place in the middle of Switzerland on the Alps and you can look at mountains. If I won the Powerball, fuck it. I'll donate half of that shit. The other half, oh, I'm blowing it, bro.
View in the city, being the only Billionaires Row tower located directly on Central Park. I mess with Ken Griffin, but I think $240 million for a concrete brick is a little bit too much.
That's wild that he put that at C tier. I mean, yeah, honestly, you could probably get cooler shit, more satisfying stuff for $240. Whatever amount of homes or a house that you want for $230 million, and I only get one house, it wouldn't be in New York.
Directly on Central Park. I mess with Ken Griffin, but I think $240 million for a concrete brick is a little bit too much. Bill Gates has a $150 million complex in Washington. It has an epic library with a manuscript written by Leonardo da Vinci. That's the only interior footage of his house on the internet. So some of the following visuals will be made with AI.
AI is a brilliant tool.
Bill Gates has a 60-foot indoor swimming pool. Inside of it is an underwater sound system, but that's nothing compared to his personal Lake Washington beach that is sand imported from the Caribbean. He also has a trampoline room, walls covered in screens, and his favorite tree that he monitors electronically 24 hours a day. There's some cool tech in this house. I'd say
he monitors a tree?
Solid B tier. In 2002, Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, got a letter from his accountant. It listed a few of his expenses, like his $25 million villa in Japan, $194 million yacht, and $200 million Japanese temple in California. Larry's net worth at the time was $23 billion, but his accountant was still concerned. I'm worried, Larry. It's imperative that we start to budget and plan. New purchases should be kept.
Oracle CEO and billionaire Larry Ellison has just made a rather large investment or purchase.
Buys Hawaiian Island for $500 million.
He's just bought the island of Lanai.
S tier. Kim Kardashian bought a $20 million home in 2014 with her then husband Kanye West. They spent 3 years transforming it into what they described as a minimal monastery and what others described.
Dude, I always wonder what an average conversation with them was like. Like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian just sitting at the dinner table. What the fuck do you think they talked about? If I'm playing this out in my head, I think it's Kim having like a nice conversation and then Kanye just going on a fucking rant about like the meaning of life, like nothing to do with it. Just like the government's up to this shit. The fucking the economy's going to the fucking, like talking about like conspiracy theory-esque shit. When she was like, well, the weather was nice today.
As an expensive psych ward, this house is a really cool art project.
Now, you're in the middle of this strange time where you're selling your houses. You say you don't want any material possessions. And
I'm slightly sad about it, actually.
Well, if you're sad about it, why are you doing it?
On May 1st of 2020, Elon Musk announced that he would be selling almost all physical possessions, including his homes. And he stayed true to his word, selling off each of his California mansions one by one. He then
acquired
a $50,000 tiny home.
I think possessions kind of weigh you down. then they're kind of an attack vector. People say, hey, billionaire, you got all this stuff. Like, well, now I don't have stuff. Now what are you going to do?
Elon's $50,000 tiny home is actually his guest house. His main home is a South Texas rental property. It's technically only worth $45,000, but he also spent $200,000.
There's houses in Texas that are worth $45,000 and look that good. No wonder motherfuckers moved to Texas. That house in New Jersey would be $300,000.
He only worth $45,000, but he also spent $200,000 building an 8-foot fence around it and covering it with security cameras. Elon says he got rid of his stuff when he sold off his $100 million real estate portfolio, but considering that only accounts for 0.05% of his wealth, he still has a lot of stuff. After all,
I mean, he definitely has to have yachts, and he has yachts and private jets and stuff like that. And he probably he gets to stay wherever he wants. He goes to the nicest hotel wherever he's going or wherever the fuck he wants to stay. Oh, poor.